Hello and welcome to the Palmer Performance YouTube channel. This week we've taken a trip to Cadwell Park to catch up with Kam Dixon Racing and show you guys a little bit about what it's like racing at a Cadwell Park BSB meet. Logistically it's a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, this is Kam Dixon's Tinkler's Yamaha R1 Superstock bike. It's his first year as a rookie in the class. He's doing exceptionally well. That's his dad Jonty just in the background there. Jonty I've known for some years. He's an ex-racer himself and I try and help them out where I can. This is their little awning setup, little hospitality area over there. They've got their wheel rack for all the different wets, dries and intermediate tyres. Obviously tools and such like. It's quite amazing really how much gear you need. And then for Cadwell, because you're set up in the paddock, you have to go down the pit lane for the sessions. They've got a trolley with a generator that can carry the spare wheels and tools. Spare wheels when the clouds look like that are always handy. So at Cadwell it's a bit of a unique setup. The pit lane, well there's kind of actually two pit lanes. There's a pit lane at the top half of the circuit and there's a pit lane in the middle of the circuit, down sort of nearer the bottom. Now the way it works with the sort of Superstock classes and the other classes is if your race number is a odd number, you pit during sessions in the top pit lane. If it's an even number, you have to pit in the middle pit lane. Now Kam has got an even number, so it means as a team, for every session, they have to transit all the spares and whatnot all the way down to the bottom. Now to do this, you have to actually cross the track. You can only cross the track when the session before is finished, so it means you have to be pretty on it with timing and such like. So just coming in here, this is the entrance to the top pit lane. We've got some bikes coming in because the Supersport session has been red flagged. And where they come off is sort of just at the bottom of the mountain section of the course. And you see these temporary pits here are for some of the lower ranked Superbike teams and the high ranked Supersport teams. They actually get a proper little tent in the pit area. As a support class, generally like the Superstock and other lower classes, you don't get that. So anyway, Supersport session is finished. We're now heading across the track, so we actually have to walk out of the pit exit. Across the track here, this is just at the top of the mountain section. And then there's a really steep slope down to the bottom pit lane. Not so bad going down, but when you're dragging a trolley full of generators, tools, wheels and tyres back up the top, it's a bit like hard work and it's a bit carnage because there's normally BSB riders with scooters everywhere as well. As you can see, this Saturday at Cadwell was absolutely minging. The weather was raining and wet for most of the day. There was 2 free practice sessions for Kam. And it was worthwhile going out just to familiarise himself with the circuit because he hasn't ridden at Cadwell since last year. And then this is actually in the pit lane at the bottom itself. You see the BSB team's got their timing screens and pit perches set up. And we're just waiting for the session to start. Trolley set up, generator running, paddock stands out and tyre warmer leads ready for if Kam decides to pit during the session. So with FP1 out of the way, it was time to get the bike ready for FP2. Now it did look like it was going to be dry for this session, so the bike was sat there with no rear shock in it. The guys have a wet shock and a dry shock, and because you're only allowed one bike, you have to obviously change the setup according to the weather. Now it was looking like it was going to be dry, and then 20 minutes, 15 minutes before the start of FP2, heavens opened again, we had to get the wet shock back in it. We'd actually put a slightly softer spring on the wet shock because Kam was struggling with grip in FP1 just to try and give him that little bit extra to get him up the board. Now the interesting thing with the Superstock class is they run a split qualifying format. So if you're outside of the top 18, I believe it is, in the free practices, you then have to go through to Q1 and then the top 9 from Q1 then get through to the Q2 session with the top 18 from free practice. So if you want to qualify half well, you must get through to that Q2 session. Now, because Saturday was wet, but Sunday and Monday, the qualifying and race days, were looking like it was going to be dry, in some ways it would be actually beneficial to not make it through to Q2 because you would get 10 minutes extra track time in Q1 in the dry to get used to riding the bike in the dry around Cadwell again. And actually that is how it worked out for Kam. So he qualified in 14th in the end, and I think that extra Q1 session really helped him just to get himself up to speed on the dry circuit. Now, because the rear shock's been changed, the bike does have data logging on it, and I've been teaching Jonty how to use the Motec login. Here he's just plugging into the bike to re-zero the potentiometers that measure how the rear shock moves when it's on track. Once that's all done, Kam will head off for his FP2 session, and the next part of the video we're just going to have a little interview with Jonty afterwards while they're cleaning the bike. Huh?
You're actually filming now.
I'm actually filming you now, yeah. I have pressed the record button. So, Jonty is Kams Dad. Jonty is an ex-racer. When did you start racing, Jonty?
2000, roughly.
Bloody hell, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. So I remember men and there was no traction control already.
And then I suppose, Kam obviously started motocrossing, didn't he?
Kam was motocrossing when he was 5. Started racing when he was 6. That was the youngest he could be.
And then when did you stop racing so that Kam could race?
When he was 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped in 2011.
2011. So see, and then what, carried on with Kam in motocross?
Yeah, until that Talent Cup, whenever it was 12 or 11 or 12 then. And he got just on Aprilia when he was 12 or 16. Yeah. Decided that tarmac was no longer interesting for him.
So yeah, so 2012 was kind of proper.
Yeah, that was I think the first
tarmac racing.
Yeah, first year in Super Team was Thunderstruck on the Aprilia 125, which was not the bike to be on there. But yeah, he loved it. Here we are now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have believed it.
No.
Now we've got this far is quite incredible really. It's helpful people like you, Sam, that's that.
So yeah, really, yeah, so you built up through classes over the years. As you build up through the classes, everything becomes more expensive. You work your ass off during the week to pay to go racing. You get lucky, you find a few sponsors and people that help you along the way, like these good people on the side of the fair in here.
Yeah.
And people who come along and help you out, like Tom and Jay.
Yeah, like yourself. Yep.
And myself when I can be bothered to come. But when I'm not here, I'm working remotely. But yeah, I mean, cost is a big thing now, isn't it?
It is huge, ridiculous. Yeah.
What would you say an average weekend costs now?
Average weekend is about £3,000.
No, it's like a 2 race weekend?
Yeah, so a 2 race weekend will be like £2,500, 2,200 on tyres, plus your entry fees, plus your fuel, plus you might need another set of tyres in cases of the conditions, food.
Yeah, feeding people.
Yeah.
All sorts, yeah.
Hospitality, getting people in with tickets.
Yeah. And it's 11 rounds, isn't it? Is it 11 rounds this year or 12?
Not sure. 11.
Yeah, so say £3,000 round, 11 rounds, it's 33 grand. And that's before you've even bought a motorbike.
And that's without all the behind the scenes costs, brake pads, chains, bearings, refreshers, fuel.
That's literally just your running costs, isn't it? Yeah.
Just a flat running cost, yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we had a budget of, when we ran it through the spreadsheet beginning of the year, it was about 80k.
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty mad really to...
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
that's what we do to try and fund the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So we work 2 jobs, Kam works hard, Kam puts his money in as well. Every penny of that goes in, we don't have holidays. We don't just live for this stuff. Weekend warriors.
Obviously the long-term goal in an ideal world is he gets picked up by a BSB team and...
Well, of course, that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah. But obviously, as we well know that only a very few people get that opportunity.
There's a lot of people like Kam with a lot of talent, with a lot of money. They might have a bit more money behind them or whatever it can be.
Yeah, a bit of luck involved in there.
A lot of luck involved, yeah.
But yeah, so wet session today. Rest of the weekend looks dry. Bit of cleaning of the bike to do ready for tomorrow. Yeah. See what happens in the qualifying. But tomorrow they've only got 1 race this weekend, so tomorrow is just the qualifying session. So you kind of on the way up here for one session.
One session in the morning. We're done by half 10, I think. I think we finished at 10:50.
And then one race on Monday, and then back to the day job on Tuesday, eh?
Yeah.
You earn the money to make it all to go again.
Must be crazy.
Must be crazy. But you wouldn't have any other way, I guess.
No, I wouldn't have any other way. No.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've got to remember all the leathers, helmets, and stuff. The other costs, the hidden costs.
Yeah. And this is the thing, there are so many costs that go into it that people don't realise. Even things like tools, specialist tools and bits and pieces. And
yeah. All the bits and bobs you need, the framework, the stickers, the teamwear. So much more to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Never ending.
Anything else you would like to say?
Well, just thank you to everyone, really, I suppose, isn't it? Just thanks to everyone who does help. People like yourself and these boys here make the time to come along and help and look after us and make sure we're still here and give Kam the best opportunity you possibly can, really. And you've got to shout out to these guys, Tinklers, Fireworks,
Thompson's. Sublime done the stickers, didn't they? Tinklers supplied the bike.
Yeah, Sublime helped with the stickers. Everybody plays their little part.
Tree Fern, wherever he is, Alan.
Yeah, rock oil for the oil, properly protected for insurance in case the worst happens. And
yeah, all sorts.
This goes
all
on,
those
on
little
really.
bits.
Yeah, NRC Goodness Waste, another local company, is well involved in doing it. MRS help us out with boots and stuff like 151s for the undergarments. GB Racing for the protection. Yeah.
That's all those bits that make the difference, isn't it? And also the cupcake makers.
171 Airbrush, who looks after Kam with his wonderful helmets and things. The list goes on and on, doesn't it? And
it does, yeah.
Our little company is Little Placeware.
Yeah.
So we make all the clothing, stickers, boarding, everything you see here, we make ourselves. Try and keep costs down a bit.
And it's ultimately, without all these people coming together, it wouldn't happen, would it?
Without all of it happening, you're not here.
Yeah.
You need the whole picture. Yeah. We're very, 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 very lucky, and we're very appreciative for what support we do get, for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what the rest of the weekend brings, mate.
Thank you, Samuel.
So Kam's weekend ended really well. He got his first top 10 of the year, which as a rookie in the class was amazing. We're really impressed with that. But anyway, I hope this video has given you guys a little bit of an insight into what it's like as a privateer team, small family run team with volunteers and stuff, and the costs and everything that are involved. And these guys are so lucky to have the sponsors they've got, who we've mentioned in the video. They really do make it all happen between them all. So big shout out to them. And we'll see what the rest of the year brings for Kam. We think he's going to race in the same class next year on the same bike, keep going as they are as a family team. I'll keep helping him where I can, and we'll see where he ends up. I really enjoy sort of working with younger riders and watching them grow and improve as the years go on. And not got any more videos planned at the moment. We'll see what turns up in the workshop in the next couple of weeks, but keep an eye out. We'll always try and put a video out when there's something interesting going on. Other than that, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch up with you soon.